Welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are on to your favorite program, Democracy on the Rule of Law. Okay, so by Salvador, definition of our format of this short break. Yes. So, of course, the NFC have indicated interest to be the sole marketer, and obviously, what that implies is that they are going, of course, they already fixed the price. So, they are going to be selling Dangote's fuel with the price they've already fixed. And they're not going to have any competition. So the forces of demand and supply is not going to be at play, in what Dangote is going to sell the PMS. So what is the constitutionality of such arrangement in view with the FCCP Act, the Federal Competition Act, which state that, of course, monopoly in some of these sectors are not there.
You see, what we are witnessing in Nigeria are things that are constitutionally absurd, that are illegal, that are not acceptable in a normal society. In the first place, NNPC was established to cater for the welfare of the masses in the area of petroleum products. Today, NNPC is prostrate. Refineries are not working. Now, a private company has come up to put up a refinery, and then we're expecting petroleum products from that Dangote Refinery, and the NNPC has gone on to now use the clout of Nigeria, because Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, to now claim monopoly of marketing and retailing of Dangote petroleum products. How can that be? They should go and get the refineries working and be matching and retailing those ones. That of Dangote, the forces of supply and demand should be allowed to be at play. Because, like I said earlier, the price of petroleum products affect virtually every other thing in this country. Immediately, the president said subsidy was over. That very day, prices triggered and has kept on going up and up and up. And Nigerians are suffering. And that is the main reason why the government is there. So it is wrong for NNPC to now use the clout of it to now continue monopoly. Of course, assuming these refineries are working, the Warren, the Port Harcourt, the Canal, the other refineries are working, then nevertheless will just be an addition, and the pump price of oil will go down. Although we are not supposed to buy for more than 100 naira per liter. Yes.
All right. Dr. Fu, talk so much on the issues.
Yes.
Let us look at the solution.
Well, I don't see the solution in sight quickly.
Unless you have elected representatives who are being paid by taxpayers' money to protect the interest of the country.
How many of them have we called back for malfunctioning?
But the Constitution provides.
It provides back. Yes. But I mean, I've been able to call back. So it's like they get there, they establish themselves, they get the people who will keep you shut when you want to talk, and eventually you have to, your hands are for another 4 years. People have already used the right to call them back. And that's why you must educate the people. You have the right to call your representative back if he or she is not representing you very well. That's number one. Number two, in the case of Dangote, what they said 3 days ago, he will not be able to fix the price of petrol, PMS in Nigeria. It is government that will do it. And what are we talking about? Government invested $2.76 billion of Dangote Refinery shares. So if you place a piper,
19 billion, and of course, that is the also share.
My dear brother, Nigeria that you are in today is the more you look, the less you see. Abracadabra. Do you remember that even by the time Dangote Refinery started, even they said the money already has paid back? So what are we talking about?
Okay, so of course, yes, the blade. Yeah, that one is clear. Yeah. Even the president, there's a vision for impeachment. In the elected representatives policy, there is a provision to record them if they are not correct. These people are being paid by taxpayers' money.
Yes.
You are paying them to be there.
Okay, let me analyze that one for you now. The president is there. Even the president can be impeached.
Yes.
Okay, the person who is going to impeach the president, the people that impeach the president have their mouth full. So when you're on the dining table, don't talk. Table manners. Number one. Number two, the executive that want to call back, they have people in places, opinion leaders who are being taken care of, who will tell people, let us exercise patience. So the irony is that they say we should fasten our belt. They're losing their belt. Now, it goes on to the extent that you might even be killed in the process if you talk too much. So that's where we are. So it's civil societies now that have risen in the past. Because we guys have done it in the past. I don't know why we're not doing it again. We can do it again. If the people are not helping us, let us. When you make noise, I know what is going to happen. Let me tell you something. This price you see is just. I told you at the beginning of this program, they are testing waters. At the end of the day, they will say, okay, we've considered it, we look at the pros and cons, please let us settle for 700 and something naira. And that is a pyrrhic victory for the people. Because by this time next year, I've heard that it's going to 1,250, 1,400. So what are you telling the people you're supposed to take care of? You're telling them that either you take it or leave it. And we won't do that. Even in military rule, people rose up and spoke. This time, we have to speak for the masses who cannot speak, for the woman in the village whose goods cannot be brought to the market unless he pays exorbitant price for exportation.
All right, but it's not about because we are talking about human lives.
Yes.
People are dying of hunger.
Yes.
Businesses are closing.
Yes.
When you look at the number of businesses that have left Nigeria, and of course, in turn, employment are going.
Yes.
People are losing their means of livelihood.
Yes.
And people have families.
Yes.
So we are talking about real life situation here. So what is the way out of this quagmire? Because we are almost in a fix now.
Yes, I've said before that it is not a hopeless situation if the government can be sensitive to the suffering of the
Governments
masses.
have shown that they cannot be sensitive.
Now, the way forward is regulate the other smaller refineries that people have put up with their hard-earned money and give room for others to participate. You stop this monopoly. If you allow people who government or agency are to go ahead and do what they're doing, if what own fuel you can use, go ahead and refine. Let government just only regulate. Because out of 10 major functions of NNPC, and even after legalization, there are 10 major functions, only one that directly with now, which is marketing. Marketing of what? What a private company is coming up with. They have the duty under the law that established it to do exploration, production, refining, not just the PMS, even petrochemicals and other and others, and make these things available in this country and even for exports. Even regulatory relation, their private is just going to wait and then be marketing only Dangote products and demonopolizing. It's not acceptable. If the people that are there are not ready to do their job, there are people, Nigerians that are competent that can take over and get things moving. Let them go drawing board, get our refineries working, then allow other people, other players to come. It's not a rocket science. If people that are not with NNPC can get these products crude oil refined, and they have minerals, they have petroleum, they have kerosene, they have other byproducts of this crude oil. Give them opportunity so that it will not just be always at the mercy of these so-called cabals that use the importation of oil as a means of making this nation right. And again, you discover that the government has gone so much at borrowing. Government has borrowed so much using our crude, and that is why for the next up to how many years?
2025.
Yes. We are at the mercy of those countries that we have taken loans from. That's why even Dangote at a point had to be importing crude that God has given us in abundance. There must be up to these things. Let the borrowings be limited. Liberalize, because this area is an area that is a catalyst to so many other areas. Once government calls for Nigerians, those that can refine or take off from, and I hope even when that is done, they will not still,
So do you believe that the government is handicapped? Or you believe, like some others say, that the government is more interested in inflicting suffering on the masses?
The government is not handicapped. The government is not. The government is doing what it's doing because it is manned by ego philosophers. And that's just it. If you have an interest of the common masses are okay, how do they make policies? And they make sure the policies work immediately. When they want things to work, they want it to work and it works. So now the masses, what you have just done is inimical to the well-being of the mass. So let the government rise up and correct it before the people revolt, before the people shout and cry and cause trouble on the road. Because a hungry man is an angry man. There, that very soon the rich will be the meal to the poor.
That's a prophetic word there. So, of course, so many people have expressed interest that have said that the government is not handicapped. That's what so many people. They feel that the government do not have the interests of the people at heart. Because if they were handicapped and Nigeria is bankrupt, they wouldn't be splashing money on luxuries here and there.
Yeah.
We are borrowing money from people. People we are borrowing money from are riding bicycles and having only cars. The Queen of England and now the King of England don't have private jets. They travel by British Airways, first class. Pope doesn't have private jet. He flies first class Alitalia. If you go to Abuja in the night and see the number of private jets in the hangar, you say, what's really going wrong with this country? We don't have airline, but we have uncountable private jets. So sad.
You say we don't have a line?
Which airline do you have? You are lucky with people like Airpeace and Arik, individuals running it.
You forgot that
which airline?
Last year,
You are not
serious. The one that went to carry Ethiopian airline and paint it Sidika. Forget it. Like, you see, sometimes it looks as if we are comedians in Nigeria. People saw the thing, and I don't think people will not trace the number and every other thing.
All right.
It's so sad.
All right, Dr. Fred, we are almost out of time. So what would be your your final advice to the government, of course, on this recent hike?
My final advice.
The attitude to governance.
My final attitude to the government is people in leadership should try to appear in camouflage, take B2 car or any small car, move around, and feel the pressure in the land. They should not stay in their in their area of pleasure and be taking feedback from sycophants who are telling them that all is well when all is not well.
All right, thank you very much. So I should.
Yes, ma'am. Take on it is that my advice to government is to declare emergency in two areas: the area of petroleum products and security. Petroleum products because it plays a vital role in the life of every Nigerian. Let something be done as a matter of urgency, not just to reverse the price of petrol, but to reduce it drastically to 100 naira per litre. It will help to grow this economy. It will go a long way to wipe away the tears of so many Nigerians who are crying in silence. And again, in the area of security, if people are not safe, then there is a total contradiction on the part of government and the masses, because the mandates given to the people in authority is to ensure their safety of lives and properties, the welfare of the people, and development of the people. What we are saying is not encouraging, but government can still do something by declaring emergency in these two areas.
All right.
And others too.
Thank you very much for your insightful analysis on this show today. This is where we draw the on today's episode on democracy and the rule of law. Of course, the government can still do something. Emergency on two critical areas of government, the petroleum sector, and of course the issue of security. Of course, this is will be rounded up at this juncture, and of course meet us the same time next week, and do well to follow us on our social media channels. Stay tuned. See you next week.